I arrived yesterday, had a great night's sleep last night, woke up this morning, had my cup of coffee. All the commuters busy going to work. It's lovely going out early in the morning in the city here in Tirana. I'm always amazed every time I come here, something's changed. There's new buildings going up. It always fascinates me to see what's happened, what's new. But one thing that hasn't changed is this sculpture. It's been here for years, overlooking this square, Skanderbeg Square. And the man sitting on top of the horse is Skanderbeg. He's the national hero of Albania. His Albanian name, Gjërgj Kastrioti. He sits on his horse looking north. He's looking towards his fortress, a city nearby called Kruja. And it's there his exploits earned him his place as one of the greatest military strategists the world has ever seen. And it was really no coincidence that this man became the national hero of Albania. So let's go to Kruja, check out some of his fortress, the story of Skanderbeg, and we've got a few other little specialties as well. So let's go. During the 1400s, there were many battles and skirmishes between Skanderbeg and the Ottomans. But in Kruja, today, I'm going to focus just on the three main sieges, the big sieges that the Ottomans waged against his fortress there. It's this part of the story that we're going to look at in Kruja. So Kruja is nestled halfway up a mountain. We're already quite high here, and it's a few more meters up to Kruja. And it's from this fortress that Skanderbeg, against overwhelming odds, was able to defend his castle against three major sieges from the Ottomans. It never fell while he was in charge. This was because of his guerrilla tactics, his alliances. He was very diplomatic. And also, he had a superior knowledge of the terrain. This gave him an enormous advantage over the Ottomans. So in 1443, the Ottomans were dealt a crushing blow by the Hungarians at the Battle of Nëse, which is in present-day Serbia. Skanderbeg was part of that contingent, and he took the opportunity to defect from the Ottomans, and he took with him some Janissaries who were also Albanian. He never forgot his homeland, and he returned here to this castle to stand against the onslaught that was about to hit this country. At the time he arrived, there were many competing large families, all jostling for number one position. And he knew that these divisions would not hold up against the Ottoman armies. So in 1444, he called a conference of Leisure, which is a city just slightly north of Kruja. And there he made them all agree that they would share resources, share armies, and that he would be the number one amongst equals. In other words, he'd be the commander-in-chief of the armies. Everyone agreed, and they got ready for this large invasion that was about to happen. The Council of Leisure laid down the foundations for what would be an alliance amongst these families for over the next 2 decades. This is the gate of his castle at Kruja. Let's go in and have a look. So from 1444, the Conference of Leisure up until 1450, various battles were fought between the Albanian forces and the Ottomans. But in 1450, Murad II, the Sultan, had had enough. He was going to solve this problem in Albania once and for all. He needed Albania as a launching pad to get to Italy. So he launched a massive invasion in 1450. He sieged this castle with cannons and men, with an army of anywhere between 100 and 150,000 people, depending on which sources you use. Skanderbeg's combined forces were anywhere between 10 and 15,000. That's a massive difference. Within the castle, a few men were placed, not a large contingent, under a commander called Conti. The plan was that Conti would hold the castle and Skanderbeg would be roaming around in the countryside, hassling the Ottoman Empire the Ottoman army as much as possible. He retreated to a mountain behind this large one behind us that gave him commanding views of the plains, and he could see what the Ottomans were doing, and he would attack where he thought there was a weakness. He disrupted their supply lines, and they had to buy food from the Venetians. Also, the Albanian people themselves, the peasants, the people working the fields, they were also trying to sabotage the Ottomans as much as possible. They were also part of this resistance. It was a combined effort, not just of military men, but the farmers. Everybody was standing up against the Ottomans. But Murad II, he tried to get this castle, and he even tried to bribe Conti, the general here, with no success. He wasn't successful, and in October 1450, he retreated. This first victory of Skanderbeg's was really important because it solidified him in the eyes of his people and also foreign international supporters that he could do this job, that he was a good general, he was a great general, and that he could bring the fight to the Ottomans. So soon after Murad II retreated, he died. And his son, his successor, Mehmet II, took up the fight. And in 1466, Mehmet returned to Albania with an army about equal in size to his father's. But Mehmet had learnt from the mistakes of his father. And this time, he was ruthless. When he entered Albania, they massacred peasants because they knew that they were supplying Skanderbeg with the needed food. They laid waste to the land to make sure that they couldn't farm it and that Skanderbeg would be cut from supplies. And once again, they sieged this castle for the second time. Skanderbeg used the same tactics that were so successful in the first siege. Conti took charge of the castle once again, and Skanderbeg roamed the lands, annoying the Ottoman army as much as possible. With cannons, they fired against this castle. Now, you would think cannons in those days would very easily bring down a castle. It has to be remembered that this was new technology. And cannons, many of the cannonballs would either fall short or fly over the castle. And many of those large cannons could only be shot 2 to 3 times a day because they generated so much heat in the barrel. But regardless, Mehmet II, no matter how great a commander he is, he just wasn't a match for Skanderbeg, and he had to call off the second siege. To the south of here, he made a castle at Elbasan to ensure that he had a presence when he withdrew. This second siege really proved to everybody that Skanderbeg was the man. 2 sieges, both against the biggest army that was in Europe at the time, against a very small force of 10 to 15,000 men. 2 times, Skanderbeg was on a roll. Inside the castle walls, the museum offers a detailed account of Skanderbeg's life, his battles, and the historic sieges that took place here. In 1467, Mehmet II launched a third offensive against Kruja, hoping to crush the Albanian resistance. Despite Albania's exhaustion and limited resources, the castle held, and Skanderbeg's hit and run tactics kept the Ottomans at bay. Though some aid arrived from European allies, it wasn't enough to shift the balance. By year's end, disease and shortages forced the Ottomans to withdraw. Skanderbeg's third victory came at great cost. He died shortly after, in 1468, and Albania stood exposed to future Ottoman invasions. With Skanderbeg's death, Kruja was severely weakened, and the Ottomans launched their final siege on this castle and was successful in 1478. Without his leadership and being worn down by continual sieges by the Ottomans, the Albanians had no chance of holding this very important strategic position. And this marked the beginning of centuries of rule of the Ottomans in this area of the Balkans. Yet Skanderbeg's legacy lives on. His courage, loyalty, valour, strategy and patriotism has inspired generations. And with such virtues, it's no wonder that he is Albania's national hero. Yet most enduring of all is his banner, the double-headed eagle on a red background, which became Albania's national flag. Located within the Kruja Castle complex is the National Ethnographic Museum of Kruja. Housed in an 18th century Ottoman residency once owned by the Toptani family, the building showcases traditional architecture with its closed porch, courtyard and stone staircase. The museum highlights the region's crafts, customs and everyday life, using interactive storytelling, multimedia exhibits and virtual reality experiences. While the legend of Skanderbeg and his castle gives Kruja much of its fame, another tale adds to the city's rich history, that of Sari Salltik, an Islamic Sufi of the mystic Bektashi order. To further explore his legendary story, I follow the well-marked road leading to the mountain above Kruja. For those on foot, a scenic trail offers a rewarding 1-hour climb to the top. Mirë dita. Si jeni mirë?
Si jeni ju?
Mirë. Unë dua shëri të lutem. Po, faleminderit.
Sa ju duhen?
3 të lutem. A French diplomat, Alexander de Grand, council in Shkodra at the end of the 19th century,
documented Albanian history and folklore. In his 1901 book, Memories of High Albania, he recorded the legend of Sari Saltik.
There once lived a Christian prince in Kruja. And on top of this mountain lived a ferocious dragon that would devour the people. But the people came up with a truce with this dragon, that if they supplied one person per day, that it would be sufficient enough for the dragon and not eat people continually. And during the night it lived in a cave here, and during the day it lived in the ruins of an old church. And this worked well for some time, until one day it was chosen by lot that it would be the prince's daughter who'd be sacrificed the following day. And the people of the town were in disbelief that this could happen to their princess. At the same time, a venerable old man had entered the city with a wooden sword and the branch of a cypress tree, and he took his place in a coffee shop and drank coffee at the back of the coffee shop, very quietly and by himself. In the morning, he awoke and he walked up the mountain, and he came across the princess who was crying. He said, "What is wrong with you? Why are you crying?" And she told him the story, that she was to be sacrificed. And he said, "No worry, stay with me." And they walked up together to the mountain. And on the way, he had lice in his hair, and he said, "Could you please clean the lice from my hair?" She didn't wish to, but she did anyway. Now, all of these small parts of the story don't mean much to us, but to the Bektashi, they're probably very important and mean various things. Anyway, so they got to the top of the mountain, and they found the dragon. And the dragon attacked them with great fury. Sari Saltik was the name of this man, the venerable old man with the white flowing beard. And with his wooden sword, he struck the side of the cliff of the mountain, and from there was a spring of water, which formed mud on the ground, to which his feet stuck, and the dragon couldn't pluck him. And then after that, the dragon was breathing fire, had scorched the earth around him, and Sari Saltik said, "Right, now it's my turn." And Sari Saltik killed the dragon, lopped off its 7 heads, cut off its tongues, and put the 7 tongues in his pocket. So Sari Saltik and the princess took separate paths back to Kruja. And the people there celebrated because their princess had been saved. The prince was so happy that he offered the hand of his daughter to whoever had killed the dragon. And many suitors came forward with bits of the dragon, saying it was them that had slain it. The daughter had 3 apples, and she was to give those to whoever the suitor was. But she held tight with the apples and gave them to no one. The prince then said, "Is there a stranger in the city?" And people said, "Yes, there is an old man drinking in a coffee shop." He asked him to be brought to him. And on the way there, the people of the city said, "No, this cannot be the suitor. He's an old man. He can't slay a dragon. This is not him." But when he arrived in front of the prince and the princess, she gave them all 3 apples. The people of the city were in disbelief. So the hand of the princess was offered to Sari Saltik, and he said, "Thank you, prince. But us Bektashi, we do not take women in marriage that are given to us." And he said, "All I require is that I can live on the top of the mountain, in the cave, and people from the city come up once a day to give me food." And this worked fine. Until one day, some people in the city said, "This old man, he created miracles. He killed a dragon. Perhaps he might try and kill us. We should kill him first." The man that day that was coming up to the mountain with his food warned Sari Salltik, but Sari Saltik had no fear. He took the watermelon that was given to him, he cut it, and he said, I will leave this here for the people to remember me. And he threw it into the air and it stuck to the roof of the cave. A mule appeared, he mounted the mule, and it went to the top of the mountain. He got off the mountain and he took 4 steps. 1 step here in Kruja, the next in Shiak, and the next Durrës, and then Corfu. Below me is the cave, and we're going down there. If you're going up here to have a look at this cave and the story of Sari Saltik, I ask that you be very respectful, because this is a place of worship to the Bektashis. It's a holy place, so please respect the people, remove your shoes when you walk into the cave, and give space to those around you. Let's have a look. I can hear the water behind. It's so cool down here. And in summertime, it's just a little oasis away from the heat. I've been here many times over the years, and every time I come here, it feels so special. It's a real honor to come in here and film here today.
I'm meeting with Julian Capagiu from the Kruja City Council.
Julian,
Hello,
Seni
Robert.
How are you?
Come on.
Unë jam shumë mirë, po ti?
Shumë mirë.
Bravo, bravo.
Welcome in our land, in our teke, in Kruja Mountain, Sari Saltik cave.
Rofsh,
It's
parlamentar
an
shumë.
honor for us.
It's an honor for me as well. This place, this mountain is such a special place, and this cave, I'm always filled with a certain wonderment when I come here. It's such a special place. It's unique. You feel something here.
Yes, we feel all the energy, and we believe in this place. Every citizens of Kruja want to protect, and we believe in this. And coming every time when we need to come, when just to believe, to share some candles, and we believe in this land mostly.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
So I think it's more better to
Go in and light the candlelight.
Not to spend so much time here, but to get inside.
That's the important bit, isn't it? Yeah.
Because that is more important.
Yeah. I always light candles when I come here, and I noticed you have 3 candles. I bought 3 candles as well.
Yes, because it's like a rule, so need to be single number of candles, and that every candle is for my parents, for my family, for my house, for myself. So everything is 1 candle for 1 wishes.
Yeah, and you don't have to be a Bektashi to. This is the thing. Like, I'm not Bektashi, but no one stops me, and people welcome me to do it.
Yes, it's free. It's very open religion. Just you believe in this place, and that's it. Not can do more anything. So
it has to come from the goodness of your heart.
Yes, it's from your heart, for your energy, for you feel everything. It's what you feel.
Yes,
Just
love it.
get inside.
If you are coming into the teke, would you classify this cave this place here as a teke, or would it have a separate name?
Yes.
Julian, this would be a teke? Or?
Yeah, it's a teke.
Yeah, so if you're coming into the teke, please take your shoes off. It's very
it's
important.
a rule to respect
Yeah.
this place.
Yeah.
Please.
This story, recorded by de Grand, carries several layers and no doubt has a hidden meaning to the Bektashi. But at its heart, the moral code could be understood as this: true strength lies in humility, compassion and spiritual power, and not in appearances or worldly ambition. There's also a warning to the story. Fear of what we don't understand can turn reverence into suspicion and admiration into betrayal.
See, Robert, it's amazing view from here.
The view from the top of this mountain.
It's like a balcony.
It is it's absolutely right. It is the balcony of Albania. You can see everything, yeah?
Edward Lear, when coming here in Albania, from
Yes.
Kruja, he writes, amazing city, a charming city up to the sky.
That is absolutely true. And he did some watercolor paintings from here as well, Edward Lear, yes.
Yeah.
And very early traveler in Albania.
Yes, it's amazing, and I think this mountain is very beautiful.
I think every time I come to Albania, I end up on the top of this mountain having a look, because you can see all the way to the south.
Yes,
And then
from Tomoris Mountain in Berat,
Yes.
the capital city.
on a good day you can see as far as like Karaburun almost, you know. Like,
Mostly, yes, but mostly we see Tomoris
Tomori,
Mountain
yeah.
from here, from Berat, Tirana, the capital city, Durrës,
Durrës,
the
over
airport,
there.
Cape of Rodoni,
Yeah.
all the Adriatic Sea,
Yeah.
and in
Montenegro, right up
the
the top.
north. Yes,
I mean-
Montenegro. It's so near mountain of Ulcin city.
Po,
Yeah,
which was the old pirate
Yes.
port for the Illyrians.
that is the reason why our national hero win all the battles, because Kruja it's a natural castle.
Fortress, yes. Julian, it's been absolutely fantastic. You say, you know, you help people. That's
Yeah.
part of Bektashism. And
Yeah, that is.
today, you've helped me a lot.
It's a pleasure to have you here and to promote our city.
It's a wonderful place.
Please
Follow me.
enjoy.
Near Kruja Castle lies a centuries-old bazaar, where it is so easy to spend time browsing and shopping for regional carpets, handicrafts and antiques. But my visit this time is to see an old acquaintance, Ndritare, one of the last makers of the traditional Albanian Qeleshe.
Mirëmëngjes,
Mirëmëngjes.
Ndritare. Adrian, si jeni mirë?
Mirë, faleminderit ju.
Jam shumë mirë.
A white woolen cap, rooted in the word lesh for wool, dates back to Illyrian times and symbolises Albanian identity, resilience and pride. Once common across much of the Balkans, it now survives mainly in Albania and Kosovo, with regional variations in shape.
Fundit, it's the last one.
It's the last one, yes. That's why I thought I would show our viewers the Qeleshe and how important it is to the Albanians and how important you are to the culture of Albania for keeping this skill alive.
Ndritare learnt this craft from his father, who learnt from his, and so on, for generations. Now he passes the tradition to his son, Adrian, who shares his passion for preserving the Qeleshe.
So the process that you're going through here now, how was the Qeleshe made?
To make one Qeleshe has more than 12 process of work.
Yes.
Has much more, but because we have to find the material first, we have to clean it, we have to wash it at home, we have to prepare again.
Yes.
We have to send in Tirana to make in one carding
Sheet.
machine,
Right.
and after bring it here to work.
Wow.
And after started the 12th process here.
It's wonderful though. The final result is worth it
The
because
first process started here behind me with this arch, or
Yes.
we call it hark in Albanian.
yes.
We have to
This
sit
is
down.
like the bow. It's like a wooden bow with a string
Yeah,
underneath it. Yes.
With this one, we carding the wool.
It is very labor intensive, isn't it? It's ancient technique as
Yeah,
well.
very ancient
Yeah.
technique.
I'm sure it hasn't changed since they were first made. Since the first Qeleshes made centuries ago.
This instrument you see here is, for example, near 180 years old.
Right. Just that instrument there.
Yes.
So the instrument that you used to make the Qeleshe, your ancestors were making them with in your family.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That is truly amazing. And what are you doing here then? At
Now I'm taking off the soap because this is half of process.
Right. And the soap helps bind the wool together?
Yes.
Yes.
The soap helps to work. Without soap can't work.
Yeah.
Now, Robert, we take the wool from here.
Right.
The first process is finished.
And will it be that much wool to make one Qeleshe?
Yeah. This much wool I use for a bigger hat.
Right. It's hard to believe that something that is going to turn into a Qeleshe, isn't it? It's
Now, with this other instrument, we have to press it.
right. And once again, this has been in the family for generations as well.
And this is very older.
Wow. Older than the other instrument?
No.
No. Yeah.
Same
Wow.
time.
Wow. And it's starting to take shape.
And another way.
Right.
Like this.
This is a first. Right. Okay. I'll probably ruin it. You'll have to start again. I'm not making the same noise that you did.
more hard.
And Richard, how am I doing? Mir? Catch. I think he's just being kind.
Can we look now what we make? Very good.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know.
Now, Robert, I have to show you how it starts to make one Qeleshe. This is the most beautiful process. We take the tool here
Do you want me to hold that?
from here, no problem.
Uh-huh. So that's the two layers you have there.
Yes. You see?
Yep.
Now I give a shape.
You start now to make as a circle.
I'm doing for many years this thing.
Yes.
And I know,
Since you were a young boy?
yes.
Yeah. So when you wear your Qeleshe, you're showing where you come from. It's worn with a sense of pride of this is the area that I'm from, saying to the other Albanians.
Po ti shikosh, në pamje të parë duken të njëjta. Po nuk është e njëjta formë. Kjo është e Shqipërisë Veriut, edhe krau i Kosovës,
Aha.
kurse kjo është e qytetit tim. Krujës.
So this is the mold for Kosovo.
From
and
North Albanian,
and this is-
Troboja, Kosovo. This one,
is for Kruja.
Kruja.
Yeah. So I have a collection of Qeleshe at home that I bought from Dritare many years ago, but sadly I've lost some of the identification for some of them. So I'm just going to ask Dritare to help me identify them. So Dritare, Inga Qeleshe KØTU. I thought I had everything, but talking to Dritare, I realized that there's a few that I don't have, and I've got to have it all. So we're going to fill in those gaps and get some more. I've got one from Shkodra, where we're going to tomorrow, so maybe I can wear that when I'm walking around Shkodra. And there's some over there that I don't have, so he's just going to find some more. Oh. Two photographs when I first met you years ago, and I came down and took your portrait.
I offer a small gift to Dritare, but his reaction isn't what I expected. At the time I took his portrait, his father had sadly passed away. The deep bond between father and son, master and apprentice, reveals itself in his quietness. Watching a Qeleshe being made with skills passed down since antiquity feels like standing within history itself. We compare the regional Qeleshes we're wearing, then bid each other farewell.
Thank you very much.
Rovsh.
See you again
Next time.
With a busy yet enjoyable day behind me, it's time to check into my room at Hotel Panorama. And the views truly live up to the hotel's name. Hearing music rising from the lower floors, I ventured down to join the entertainment unfolding for a group of tourists.
Well, what a wonderful day it has been in Kruja.
My time at Kruja is coming to a close. After dinner, Hassani, the restaurant manager at Hotel Panorama, invites me to join him at a table overlooking the castle.
You've got a little surprise for me, you said.
Yes, I have something you need to try. If you come to Kruja, we will always have to try this. It's some special traditional dessert we call kabuni.
Right.
Okay, so the waiter shall bring it right now, and then we will talk about it.
Thank you.
For 2 minutes.
This is Ansi, the restaurant manager.
So this is the lovely kabuni. This is a traditional dish.
What makes this? It only comes from Kruja area, yes?
Yes, this kind of recipe comes only from Kruja.
Yeah.
Other towns make it, but this has something special in it, which others don't. So, should I tell you the secret ingredient, or
let me put my glasses on.
You want to have a try and then figure it out by yourself?
Hold on, let me.
Okay, so as
I can see it's sort of got rice in it and
rice
some raisins.
is the main ingredient. Yeah, it starts with rice. It has some raisins.
It'll have my fork in it soon.
Yeah. I hope you love it. So always cinnamon. As you see, we have decorated the plate a little bit with it, and something else that has inside.
Intriguing.
Yeah, these small lines over here, they are actually meat.
And this is a dessert.
And this is a dessert.
You eat this after your main course?
Yes, and all the people who we tell this secret, all of them are surprised because none of them expected.
I'm surprised.
On a dessert.
And what sort of meat is it?
Meat from the neck of the male lamb, of the ram.
Right.
Of the neck, only the part
Only
of the
the
neck.
neck.
Yes.
The
You
chop.
boil it, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you cook it along with the dessert.
With the rice and the cannelle.
It's a 4-hour procedure to make it.
Right.
So
it's
very,
sort of
very interesting.
it's sort of a bit like a risotto, a meat sweet.
Yes.
And what's sweet in it then?
Sweet. It has a lot of sugar to
Right.
begin with.
Right.
Then you add the rice, you boil it along, then you add raisins, walnuts, of course,
Right.
cinnamon along the way, and then you add the meat, which they all boil
Together. So it's a bit like a sort of sweet risotto.
Yes,
Sweet meat risotto.
Yeah, it's really something unique.
I'm intrigued. Who's going first?
The guests always.
Well, I know it's going to be good because it's come out of your kitchen and I've already eaten here, so I know I'm in good hands. This is fantastic.
Yeah, see the small lines.
What are those lines? That's the meat.
That's the meat. That's
Wow.
a small.
Yeah,
pieces
it's
of
very
lamb
it's very broken down.
Yeah. When you boil it and
Yeah.
when you cook it, it boils.
Here we go. My first
Enjoy.
kabuni. First
Enjoy.
kabuni. Wow.
Have you tasted something like this before?
I like it. It's a little bit similar to what's the dessert that the Bektashis have?
That's hashure.
Hashura. It's a
Hashura.
little similar to that, but
Yes.
I think I prefer this, to be honest.
That's similar to that.
Yeah,
Taste-wise.
I love it. I love it. I was a little bit apprehensive to start with because I thought the meat dessert.
That's the reaction
I'm having
we get.
another one.
That's the reaction we get.
You're not having any,
No, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try a little bit.
just to make sure that the chef is up to standard.
Yes, of course.
I can tell you now, he is.
I see it every day. Maybe sometimes I miss it. I don't try it every day.
Ansi, thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're always welcome here to us.